Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to use AI agents for auto-transcription and translation of podcast. So I'm a podcast creator and I have created a number of Hindi podcasts. I need to first transcribe each and every podcast and translate it into English for subtitles and other details. Now doing this manually is very time consuming and hectic. So to solve this problem, I have created an AI agent using Pabbly Connect. So now in my Google Drive, as soon as I'm going to upload any of the audio file that is my Hindi podcast, automatically an AI agent is firstly going to transcribe the audio file, okay? As now the transcription method is going to be done, another AI agent is going to translate that Hindi transcription into English. And as the translation is going to be done, automatically a document of that podcast is going to be created in my Google Docs to create the proper systematic record. So now if you want to learn how to create this entire AI agent for yourself, for your business, then let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to use AI agents for auto-transcription and translation of podcast with Pabbly. So as a podcast creator, I use Google Drive to store my podcast episodes securely. Then I use an AI agent that automatically transcribes the audio file into text. Then I use the same AI agent to translate my Hindi podcast and enhance the transcription. Finally, I use the Google Docs in order to organize and store the final subtitles and translated scripts, making them ready for publishing or sharing with my audience. And I'm going to create this amazing AI agent using Pabbly Connect. For that, on a new page, I'm going to browse the website of Pabbly Connect, that is www.pabbly.com/connect. So I'm going to browse this website right over here. Then Pabbly Connect's landing page is going to appear in front of you. Now, after coming to the landing page, you have two options: sign in or sign up for free. If you're an existing user, you can directly sign into your Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. As I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right over here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. And on the dashboard, in order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So firstly, for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as AI Agents for Auto-Transcription and Translation of Podcast. So this is the name I want to give to my workflow. And for the folder on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account. And from these folders, I'm going to select a specific one in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select AI Agents as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created over here in the name of AI Agents to auto-transcription and auto-translation of podcast, and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One is the trigger window, other is the action window. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Google Drive. As in my Google Drive, I have created a folder of podcast audios. And in this folder, I keep the record of all the episode of the podcast that I record. I want that as soon as I'm going to upload a new file in this folder, the trigger over here should capture the response of that. For my trigger event, I'm going to select it as new file in specific folder. As in this specific folder, podcast audios, as soon as I'm going to upload a file, automatically the trigger is going to capture the response of that. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on our new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you've already created before. And then click on this sign in with Google button right over here. Then this window is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for me to choose an account. We have to select an account in which we have created the Google Drive folder, and so this is the account. I'm going to select it from the options, and after that it is asking for the access of this account. For that, I'm going to click on this allow button, as this is a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button. You can see I've successfully authorized Google Drive to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for me to select the folder or the subfolder. I have created a folder in the name of podcast audio. So for the folder over here, I'm going to search for the folder that I've created and select it from the drop down right here. Okay. After selecting the folder, it is asking save and send test request. As soon as I'm going to click on this button over here, the last file that was uploaded in the folder is going to be captured in the response right here. So before clicking on this button, I'm going to upload a new file in this folder. For that, click on this new button and file upload. Now I'm going to upload a new file in this folder. So this is the dummy podcast that I have downloaded. I'm going to select this file and open it in this folder right over here. And within few seconds, this audio of the podcast is going to be uploaded in this folder. And this is the audio right over here. So you can see this is the podcast right over here. And this audio is in Hindi right here. This is the Hindi podcast right here. So now as I've uploaded this file, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this save and send test request button over here. As I've clicked on save and send test request button, you can see over here I've received the response in which we have received the web content link and the web view link. We are going to use the web content link right here. I'm going to copy this link from here and open it in a new tab right over here. And you can see over here it says, we are sorry, but you do not have access of this page. So as it says that I don't have the access of this page, if I'm going to open this podcast again over here, you can see on the top right corner it says private to only me. That means this file that I've uploaded is just accessible to only me. That means my AI agent can also not have the access of this podcast right over here. So what we are going to do is we are now going to make this file accessible to everyone, and we are not going to make each and every individual file accessible for everyone. Instead of doing everything manually and individually, what you can do is you can simply make this entire folder accessible to everyone. So now whenever you upload a new podcast file in this folder, automatically the uploaded file is going to be accessible to everyone. Okay. So in order to make this folder shareable, click on the name of the folder, go to the share option, click on the share option right over here. For the general access, select it as anyone with the link right here. Okay. And as we're going to do that, we have made the access updated of this folder, and now this folder is shared. And now for this file that I've uploaded, on the top right corner it says public on the web, anyone on the internet with the link can open. Now this file is accessible to everyone. I'm going to recapture the response of the accessible file right over here in my workflow. And within few seconds the response has been captured again. Now if I'm going to copy this link of the web content link from here and open it in a new tab right over here, you can see within few seconds in my PC, this audio is now been downloaded, and this is the same podcast right here. Okay. So as now this file has been accessible and we have captured the response, this means Google Drive is connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now whenever you're going to upload a new file in a Google Drive folder, automatically the trigger is going to capture the response of that. But if you do not receive the response immediately after uploading a new file in your Google Drive folder, then do not worry. Google Drive is a polling based application. You can see it says 10 minutes is the polling duration trigger time. In every 10 minutes, whenever the new data is going to be collected by Google Drive, it is going to send that new data to Pabbly Connect in every 10 minutes. Okay, so that is why if you don't receive the response immediately, then you don't have to worry. And if you want to make any changes in this trigger time, go to the three dots and select set trigger time option right here. This window is going to appear in front of you, and if you're going to click on it, the minimum trigger time you can select as 10 minutes and the maximum is 24 hours. You can select the trigger time according to your requirement. I'm going to select it as 10 minutes right over here. Okay. Now after that, after setting up our trigger step, we are going to set up our action step. And now as we have received this file, now I want to transcribe this file right here. I want the transcription of this file. I want to convert this audio into text. For that, we're going to set up our action step. And for action application over here, I'm going to select it as OpenAI right here. As I am using my AI agent as OpenAI. If you want, you can use other AI platforms according to your requirement. And my action event over here is going to be generate transcript. We are going to convert our audio into text. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection. After that, it is asking for the token, with the help of which we are going to build a connection between OpenAI and Pabbly Connect. To generate the token, go to this hyperlink given here below in the help desk right here. And then you'll be landed towards the API keys page of your OpenAI account. And now to generate a new key, click on this create new secret key button right here. It is asking for the name of the key. So for the name of the key over here, I'm going to give it as test key right here. For the project, I'm going to select as default, and permissions, we have to select it as all. And then I'm going to click on this create secret key button. Automatically a token is generated. I'm going to copy it from here and paste it over here in this field. And then click on the save button right here. You can see OpenAI has now been connected to Pabbly Connect. After connecting over here, it is asking for the audio file URL. Which URL do we need to transcribe? So for the data of this field, I'm going to map the data, which is inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. As I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that was captured in our previous step. In this, we have received the web content link, and this is the URL of the audio which we need to transcribe. We have two links, web view link and the web content link. Remember to only use the web content link, okay? So I'm going to select the data of the web content link, the audio file URL from my previous response. As now I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I've mapped this data, the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data, okay? After that, it is asking for the model. For the model, I use it as GPT-4o Mini Transcribe. If you want to use any other models, you can do that according to your requirement. After entering the file URL and selecting the model, we have to make sure some few points right here. The file that we are going to upload should be limited to 25 MB only, and the input file types should be MP3, MP4 and all the types that are mentioned in the important notes right here, okay? And also follow all the details that have been entered in this important notes section. Now after entering all these required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button right here. Now as I'm going to do that, within few seconds, I have received the message of text right here. And if I'm going to scroll down, this is the transcription of the file that I have uploaded in my Google Drive. क्या आप कभी किसी कमरे में चले गए और किसी व्यक्ति या किसी धातु के साथ स्पर्श किया हो और उसके बदले झटका लगा? You can see this is the transcription of the podcast that I've uploaded in my Google Drive folder, okay? So it was in Hindi, so the text that we have captured over here is in Hindi, okay? So now as we have the response of this Hindi podcast right over here, I want to convert this Hindi podcast into English translation. For that, I am going to set up an action step, and for the action application, I'm going to again select it as my AI agent, that is OpenAI right over here. An action event is going to be ChatGPT. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which I'm going to select the existing connection from before. And then I'm going to click on the save button right over here. After doing that, it is asking for the AI model, for which I'm going to select it as GPT-4o Mini. If you want to use any other AI models, you can definitely select that from the drop down according to your requirement. Now it is asking for the prompt. Prompt is the text with the help of which this AI agent is going to generate the content according to our requirement. For the prompt, I'm going to specify all the things that I want from this AI agent to be done, and I'm going to mention all the things that I do not require as well. So for the prompt over here, I'm going to write it as, you can see right over here, this is the prompt. You are an expert translator and language AI. Your task is to translate the following Hindi podcast transcript into clear and natural sounding English while preserving the original meaning, tone and context. Make sure the translation flows smoothly and is suitable for use in subtitles or content repurposing. Do not skip any lines or add any extra commentary, okay? So over here it is asking for the Hindi transcribe. I'm going to map the data of the Hindi transcribe over here in the prompt. So this is the prompt right over here. Select the AI model. Now I'm going to click on this save and send test request button right here. As I'm going to do that, we have received a response, which is a positive response. And in this response and message content, I have received the translation. Have you ever walked into a room, touched a person or a metal object and felt a jolt in return? Perhaps you took your hat off a chilly winter day and felt your hair standing on end. It's possible that you rubbed a balloon against your clothes and stuck it on the wall. So you can see right away, this is the translation of the transcripted Hindi podcast that I've uploaded in my Google Drive folder. So as now the transcription and the translation is now been generated, I have the translation right over here. So now I want to store the translation over here. For that, in my Google Docs, I have created a template of podcast transcription template. And in this transcription, I'm going to add the data of the translated transcription of my podcast audio. And using this template, I'm going to create multiple documents. For that, I'm going to add an action step to this workflow. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Google Docs right here. An action element over here is going to be create document from template. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which I'm going to select the existing connection. But if you want, you can add a new connection. Then I'm going to click on the save button right over here. As I've done that over here, firstly, it is asking for me to select the template document. For the template document, I have created a template in the name of podcast transcription template. So I'm going to select that template document from the drop down right here. Next, it is asking for the new document's name. What are the documents name that is going to be created from this template right here? So for the document's name, firstly, I'm going to map the data of the name of the audio that I've uploaded in my Google Drive. This is the name of the audio. And over here, I'm going to write it as transcription. Okay, so the name and next to it, it's transcription right over here. For the new documents location, I have created a Google Drive folder in the name of podcast transcriptions. So what I'm going to do is for the new document location, I'm going to search for my folder that I've created and select it from the drop down, that is podcast transcriptions. Okay. After selecting the template, document name and the new document location, now it is asking for the podcast transcription. So now what is this? This is the variable that I've added in this template right here in the name of podcast transcription. As in the front of it and in the end of it, I've added two curly brackets. So now this is a variable created, and in place of this variable, I can add the value according to my requirement. As over here, this is the variable. You can see this variable in this workflow in this manner. And in place of it, I'm going to map the data of the translation of my transcription that has been created. After doing that, I'm going to simply click on the save and send test request button right over here. Now I have received a response which is a positive response as we have received the document ID. So if I'm going to open my Google Drive folder, and yes, you can see right over here a new document has been created, and this is the transcription of the audio that I've uploaded in my Google Drive folder. You can see right over here. Okay, so you can see automatically a podcast audio has been first transcribed, and after transcription it has been translated into English, and the document of that audio is also been created. So this means this AI agent is now been successfully created with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this AI agent is also working. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I'm a podcast creator and I upload all the podcast episodes in my Google Drive folder. As soon as I'm going to upload a new podcast audio in my folder, the trigger Google Drive new file in specific folder is going to capture the response of that. After that, we are going to have the audio file URL. And as we're going to have the audio file URL, automatically the audio is going to be converted into text with my AI agent, that is OpenAI Generate Transcribe Whisper. Okay. And as the audio is then going to be converted into text by my AI agent, automatically then another AI agent is going to translate my Hindi podcast transcribe into English. So this is that AI agent OpenAI ChatGPT. And as then the translation of the transcription of my podcast audio is going to be created, automatically a document of that transcription is going to be created using Google Docs. So this is how I have created this AI agent to auto transcription and translation of podcast. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.